Full disclosure, the voice you are listening to now is artificially generated, brought to you by satisphonic.com. See the link in the description for more details. Which TV show has a 10/10 pilot episode? The X-Files. Just enough doubt misdirection to keep you unsure whether aliens are real until the very end. Great relationship building between Scully and Mulder. And of course the ending with a cigarette-smoking man hiding away the evidence in what is revealed to be the Pentagon by a closing shot of an emergency exit map on the door. Fantastic pilot, and the first season is so good. We hadn't really seen a TV show like that before, with a mix of weekly episodes, but a narrative running throughout. It broke ground for many of the shows that are being talked about in this thread. Dexter's pilot was fantastic. Tonight's the night. This is the pilot that hooked me to the point where I binge-watched 5 seasons in about a week. Incredible first episode. True detective, it sinks you deep into the world and wraps itself around you. This, so much. Season 1 is one of the greatest 8 hours of television produced. Wish they could have gotten the full 12 episodes it was designed for. Not sure if it counts because it's a miniseries, but Chernobyl. I had to watch Chernobyl after hearing it's regarded as one of the best shows of all time. Did not disappoint. Check Band of Brothers and Generation kill for more great miniseries. A monster series where radiation and government incompetence are the monsters. Dead Like Me, come on. A young girl in her first job is killed when a toilet from the Mir space station hits her. She finds that for some people there is a life after death of a really interesting kind. Stars Ellen Muth, Mandy Patinkin, Jasmine Guy and other members of a really strong cast. Futurama. It's great because about once a season we revisit Fry getting cryogenically frozen in 1999 and learn something new about what happened in that episode. And if you re-watch the pilot, you can see all the things are actually there. Mind blown the first time you see Nibbler's eye in the trash. Lost has a strong opening. Firefly is great too, and we never got a second season. So sad. Lost's pilot was so expensive that the executive that approved it was fired. Lol. The worst part was he was right. The series was wildly successful. Yes, and after the enormous success of Lost, he joined the cast of Lost. Eventually he would become a director again and greenlight some of the most iconic TV shows out there, including The Jimmy Kimmel Show and Desperate Housewives, a fake he actually saved out from total bankruptcy. Desperate Housewives premiered the same year Lost did, 1 month apart. He had already greenlit Desperate Housewives before the firing. That's why his firing was seen as a dumb move, because he had 2 of the biggest shows on television approved. Grey's Anatomy premiered next year. Honestly did not know this. That's actually awesome. I came here to also say Lost. I think at the time they had the record for the highest budget on a pilot episode ever. I forget where my source of information was for that detail. You're right. It cost $4,850,162,342. Fargo. Lester, is this what you want? Billy Bob Thornton became the best villain in TV show history in that one season. Season 1 is genuinely elite television. Battlestar Galactica 2004. Both the miniseries pilot and the first episode of Season 1. Every time I think of this show, I'm amazed at the episode named 33 was Sonny New. 33 minutes to escape before they get attacked again. The tension in that ep was amazing. I really set the tone for the entire series. So say we all. I really liked Psych's pilot episode. The premise was really well explained, and you learned instantly what Sean's abilities are and are not, and how he could use them to help solve cases. The dynamic of the peripheral characters was shown immediately as well, which made you look forward to seeing how they would evolve and progress throughout the show. I am sad that the White Chicks actress wasn't in the series, but I think the rest of the cast staying was definitely for the best. Justified Raylan Gibbons. I guess I never thought of myself as an angry man. Winona Hawkins. Well, you do a good job of hiding it, and I suppose most folks don't see it. But honestly, you're the angriest man I have ever known. Mr. Robot, but admittedly the show differed greatly from the pilot. Still an awesome show, though. Watching it right now for the first time, and this show is unreal. I cannot believe this was a user show. The level of quality in writing and acting is that of a peak ABO or prestige show. So good. Arrested Development. They're illusions, Michael. A trick is what a whore does for money. It had one of the best setup puns that took years before the payoff happened. One of the characters is introduced as, "This is George Michael's cousin, Maybe." In a later season, there is an entire arc as George Michael begins to think that maybe she isn't his cousin. Maybe. Do you guys know where I can get one of those gold necklaces with a T on it, Michael? That's a cross, maybe? A cross from where? Yay, Arrested Development. Should have been called Wordplay. The series, Wordplay, or shit. Ton of dramatic irony. Literally a modern Shakespearean comedy. And she had an alter ego as Shirley. This joke cemented the show as my Cone all-time favorite. Michael, to Gob. Get the C word out of here, Lucille. I'll leave when I'm good and ready. This is Michael's mother. Look what the homosexual have done to me. Everything they do is so dramatic and flamboyant. It just makes me want to set myself on fire. The Good Place. Best first and last episodes. The way I was sobbing during those last few episodes. I had no idea what The Good Place was about, but was sick during Xmas, so I just put it on, and after the first episode I was like, why. I rewatched the first episode again, and then continued the marathon. That was such a great show. They stuck the finale as well. Maybe the best final episode of a TV show that I've seen. Heroes. Rewatching Heroes currently. Pretty much every episode ends with you wanting to know what happens next. It really hooks you in, haha. Sadly, every season finale leaves you wanting the show to end forever. Wasn't that the show with the tagline, "Save the cheerleader, save the world"? Season 1 was solid. All downhill after that. Twin Peaks. Westworld. If that show had ended at the conclusion of Song, it would have been remembered as one of the greats. I'm not sure what it is now, but I still stand by Song being some damn fine, excellent storytelling with top-tier pacing, suspense, presentation, and acting. The guy who plays Abernathy, Dolores' dad, holy shit, he should have been nominated for some kind of award. Prison Break. I came here to say that series went downhill by season 3, but damn, season 1 just rocked. West Wind. I am the Lord thy God, thou shalt have no false gods before thee. The pilot episode to is one of the best things ever put on film. It could be a standalone movie if you don't want to fully jump into the show. Oh yes, great choice. Written by Michael Crichton, produced by Spielberg. It was a film script that Crichton had written years earlier, based on his own experiences as a med student. They produced it as their next Project Jurassic Park. Invincible, especially the ending of the first episode. Mad Men's smoke gets in your eyes. The Lucky Strike monologue alone is excellent. The Expanse. The destruction of the Canterbury sucked me right in. Gravity Falls. Tourist Trapped perfectly introduces the main characters in the show and shows what it's all about, kicks off the events that allow the rest of the show to happen. It's fun, it's got lots of great jokes, and gives a massively intriguing hint to the big mystery that hooks you immediately when you see it. And then the show just keeps on being absolutely amazing. The Walking Dead. It was good enough to spawn numerous seasons of garbage and was so good every episode that followed felt like it was downhill. I feel the first several seasons were pretty solid, but after a while the seasonal formula got too predictable. For me, that point was about halfway through the Negan saga. At least I think it was halfway through Negan. I have no idea how much longer he was part of the show. Archer, the Velociraptor version. Breaking Bad. This is always my goal. For this question, because whenever I think about where that ep starts and where it ends, it amazes me how they were able to get there in under an hour. Such efficient writing and editing. When I rewatched, I couldn't believe how much of what I thought was the entire first season was actually just the first episode. A pilot needs to do 3 things, and Breaking Bad did them all really well. 1. Establish the premise. 2. Introduce the main characters. 3. Set the tone. Walter. Short speech. You lost your partner today. What's his name? Emilio. Emilio is going to prison. The DO is going to prison. The deer took all your money, your lab. You got nothing, square one, but you know the business, and I know the chemistry. I'm thinking, maybe you and I could partner up. Jesse, you want to cook crystal meth. You and me. Walter, that's right. Either that, or I turn you in. I think it's interesting that business relationship was always one based on coercion. From the very beginning, Walt is manipulating Jesse. The Wire. Why'd you let him play if you knew he was going to snatch and run? It's America, got to. Very true. I forgot that Walt was always a piece of shit to Jesse from day one. Bob's Burgers. My name is Earl. Why do I have to get molested? Wish they still worked blue like this. Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Rip Captain Holt. Modern Family has a really funny first episode. Doctor Who 2005, Rose. It introduces newcomers to the show. It gives the Doctor his mystery back, and Rose is a good surrogate for those newcomers. The Newsroom. Largely downhill afterwards, but the opening episode and specifically first scene are phenomenal.